I am Lizzy with Long Distance Gamers. We are a group of friends who play games remotely due to us living in different states. So today I am talking about Royals. What do I think about it? And more importantly, how do we play it remotely? Now before we get started, there are two different sides. The side running the game, also known as the runner side, they're the side that for sure has a copy and they play the game mostly like normal. The remote side may or may not have a copy. We will be going over how the remote side sets up and how the remote side responds to the game. This is Royal's setup for remote play. The only difference for remote play based on number of players for setup will be this over here, as the number of these that are available changes per player. For setup, all of these tiles are the exact same. They are pre-printed on the actual game board. If you are the only side with a copy, I would highly recommend taking a picture of this and then zooming in and taking a picture of each individual area so that way people can see the details clearer, although that does provide a little bit more pictures to flip through. It will make it so that they have less questions throughout the game. As far as for the cards, the runner side will pull out based on the rule book. I leave them all in as I can very easily count cards, and this makes for a more true to game experience. I do separate each of the cards out into their colors, so you just have a stack of each individual colors. And then the intrigue cards are also separated out by the first color of the banner. For the runner side, I would have card holders for all remote players. Due to there being sometimes a large amount of cards in hand, I use our bigger card holder. Whatever card holder you have will work. As you don't start with any cards in the game, this always starts empty. For the remote side, if I am the only one on that side, I would go ahead and utilize the card holders. If not, I would either use boogie boards, as it's easily erasable, or just pen and paper, as that is easily findable. For gameplay, it is really just stating what you want to do. If I want one of the country cards, I can either say I'll take the face up red, green, or blue, or I'll take a face down, or I could take one of the intrigue cards. And as I'm stating this, so say I want to get the red one, I'll take the red country card, and then it'll get refilled with, say, a yellow, for instance. And then I decide that I don't want any more of these, so I'll be like, okay, well, I will go ahead and take the top country card. And so they would go ahead and hold that one up to the camera. They know I have that, so they would hold this one up. I'm like, okay, and I will go ahead and take the blue country card now. So they can assume that that one's probably a blue one. And then that would get refilled. And these would go into my hand. I don't worry about matching this with sides until it comes time to play, as you can go many, many turns before it's time to play. So for instance, if I have this in my hand, I would go ahead and know what I want to play based on what I have written down. So then I could just simply state what I want to play, whether it be 1 or 5, based on what the running side holds up to the camera. Sometimes it is easier to state which ones are staying in your hand. So for instance, I will be playing all but my number 4 and my number 6. The runner side will hold those up and be like, yep, those are the cards that I want to play. They'll put those face down and grab all the rest of these and turn them face up, so that way you can just state how you're playing them. And if you did notice, I did have them separated out by the country cards and the intrigue cards. That's just my preference for playing, so that way it's easier to see the difference in the cards. And then you will just say what you're playing with what, and the game will continue. Once these cards are used, I do go ahead and put them back in the appropriate stacks, so that way we don't have to worry about me counting cards again. As far as when the cards are about to run out, the runner side will give a 10 card warning in our games, for instance, so that way you know you only have a limited time to play before the end of the round and scoring will happen. The game continues on after the 3 scoring phases. The game is over. Whoever has the most points is the winner. So that's how we play Royals remotely. As you can see, the biggest issue is seeing the board from a distance. I do like that there are variations of the color. However, for colorblind people, it's sometimes not enough. So sending pictures of the board is dramatically helpful. Other than that, it is really easy to see the cards because of the corner design is very easy. When they're all in a line, you can easily see what you have. And knowing what you want to play, you just have to state, okay, I'm going to play this number, and this number. Just agree on which side is won, and you're good to go. Something we did notice in our game group was that sometimes these player colors are a little bit hard to tell through the camera. Brixie is partially colorblind, so that does cause some of that. However, just be aware that you might want to try to play with both ends of the spectrum and then find a middle color so that we don't have that issue. This is one that we have played with one copy. Brixie and Kitty loved it so much that they went out and got their own copy. I really enjoy it, and it is a really amazing game. With one copy, with multiple copies, it is a fun game to play remotely. But hey, have fun and be you. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to us. We would love to hear from you.